This is the Morning Drive, brought to you by nationofblue.com, the king of UK fan websites.
Good morning, Cat fans. It's fake Billy Clyde with nationofblue.com. It's hump day. Kentucky basketball continues to make the headlines. Calipari gets into politics, then bails out of politics all on the same day. It was SEC Media Day. UK football yesterday. There's going to be no shortage of headlines or sound bites coming out of UK football this season. It's going to be a good one, at least for anyone that's trying to cover the Cats or report on the Cats, and we'll get to that in a minute. But first off, Kentucky basketball continues to make headlines. Was on the front page of ESPN yesterday, basically referring to Calipari's recruiting trail and everywhere that he's going and the recruits that he's bringing in, and how Calipari is also heeding everyone that, hey, just because we have the number one recruiting class in the nation next year, do not count us in the Final Four just yet. There's lots of things we need to look at, and it's going to be a tough season for us. So we continue to make headlines, and when I read that, I'm excited to see Kentucky still in the headlines. At the same time, I can appreciate the undersell of don't expect us to be in the Final Four because we got all this going against us, and it's what it is. It's an undersell to keep the fans humble and not to put the expectations on this team and the pressure on this team out there just yet. But we have to think these one and dones. Eventually, that's what's expected. So if you're going to have one and dones every year, sooner or later you're going to have to expect that they're going to win a championship. I know he's just trying to lower the expectations, but as fans, I can only see about 2 or 3 years. Of course, I think things will get a little itchy, impatient, you could say. Also, Calipari yesterday announced that at his home he would hold a fundraiser benefit for Governor Steve Beshear, and his re-election campaign plates were going to be around $1,000 piece. And then later in the day, Calipari announces on his Facebook that due to his schedule and everything they've got going on, that they are not going to be able to do that, and he hopes everyone will continue to show out to the polls and vote for who they feel the right person for the job is. So he says it's his schedule. Maybe it is a schedule, or maybe it's I need to not be in politics. And there's fans on both sides of the aisle when it comes to one thing you're not supposed to discuss at work, right? It's religion and politics. And so, as UK head basketball coach, is that any different? Have we ever had a coach come out and actually endorse a governor before? And I'm not for sure if that's actually his endorsement. That's what it looks like. I'm not for sure if that's really what he was doing, but that's what it looks like. Who knows if there was a big contribution to the university or not, or what was behind it, or maybe he just likes Beshear and likes what he stands for and thinks he's a man for the job. But even if it is, as UK basketball coach, should you come out and say that? I'm not sure. Calipari pulls back and is not doing a benefit regardless. So that ends his streak in politics for now. Who knows? Could be Governor of Kentucky before it's all said and done anyway. SEC Media Day. UK football. No shortage of sound bites here. Some things were announced that were already were confirmed, that were already out among the news. 2 of those being that Paul Warford, cornerback for the Cats, lots of experience there. Really need this guy. Will not be part of the team this year because he does not have enough credit hours. Also, defensive tackle Mr. Cobble has some work to do academically to make sure he's eligible. He's someone that we definitely need on the defensive side of the ball. That was going to be a question this year, and all the feedback coming out of the practices and the coaching staff as the defense looks pretty solid. So this is definitely a loss to UK and will definitely impact how good they could be this fall. Now, here's my question for you. Is this any different than the Daniel Orton situation? Now, granted, Daniel Orton said he was going to finish school, and he just didn't finish school. and his attitude and the way there were some other things, I guess, with how he spoke about UK fans. We're not hearing anything out of these two young men, and not that we need to. But anytime a student athlete, I guess, doesn't hold up their end of the deal in the classroom, and now they're ineligible, it's a huge letdown to fans. And I wonder just, should the fans be more upset than maybe what they are, or should there be more consequences that go around with not playing, with being academically ineligible? And I'm sure these guys love the game. This is what they do. This is why they came to school. And so not playing definitely is punishment on their side. I'm not really saying they should be punished, but really, I know the fans get really upset. Daniel Orton not finishing school. Well, anytime we have kids in the classroom that don't pull it academically, you really don't hear much about that except, that's just too bad. So give me a call, 859-379-9219, UK Nation of Blue hotline. Tell me what you think on that one. SEC Media Day also provided lots of quotes. Joker Phillips says his quarterback needs to win, not just manage the game. So that's the big thing with Hartline. He's excellent at managing the game. We heard that a lot last year. And Joker Phillips basically says, hey, that's not enough this year. You got to win. And he says the quarterback race is a dead heat. Everyone's even, and he'll go into the week of the Louisville game before making a decision if he has to. So that's pretty exciting. At the same time, you've got Derek Locke saying Hartline is the guy. So that's a pretty strong statement coming from our leader, our running back, one of the first-team All-SEC players ranked preseason. Locke says, honestly, I feel like Hartline is the guy. Locke said he had a great spring. He made plays. I'm not saying we can't win with the other guys, but Hartline's a senior. He's got more to play for. He's going to go all out for the team, and he's going to make plays. I'm putting all my faith in him. If we're going to win, I feel like he's going to be our guy. So Derek Locke feels very strongly that Mike Hartline needs to be the guy in Lexington at the QB position this fall. Now, I think about 75% of fans would disagree with that. And like you can see from some of the posts on Facebook, the reaction that fans get, and I could read through some of those. And we're actually putting something together for the Big Blue Breakdown. We'll record this Sunday night. Be on the lookout for that on the fan reactions, and we're hoping to get a couple fans on to discuss this as well. Most fans do not want Hartline. That's just what it is. So it's very interesting to have someone like Derek Locke on the team saying that he thinks Hartline should be the guy. We'll just have to pay a close attention to this. And who knows, he may be the guy. Derek Locke sees him in practice, and I got to think he knows what he's talking about. And we'll just have to wait and see. And I mean, at the end of the day, if Hartline comes out and looks good and wins games, you will not hear a word about Morgan Newton. That's just the way it goes. So let's just something we'll just have to wait and see. Also interesting, something else that came out of SEC Media Day. Randall Cobb was speaking with Urban Meyer, and Urban Meyer asked Randall where he's from, and then basically asked him, "Hey, we didn't recruit you?" He says, "Man, I could draw up some plays for you." And talking about Randall Cobb, and I bet he could. I bet he could have Randall Cobb doing some interesting things. And that raised another question with me about, offensive play calling. That's something that most fans are wondering about with Joker Phillips being the head coach. Is the play calling going to be a little different? Why can't we do some of those interesting things with Randall Cobb? We'll just have to wait and see. Maybe we'll talk more about that. Probably things we discuss in more detail on the Big Blue Breakdown. You hear the music. That's all the time we got for today. Call the UK Nation Blue Fan Hotline, 859-379-9219. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Later, and go Cats.